Alright guys, so it's the next morning. We got the wheels on the truck, but it's actually having some clearance issues up front here and in the rear. It's just rubbing a little. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be trimming the bumper and moving the fender line forward. So I already moved the fender line forward, so let me just show you guys what I did. So if you see, this is the mounting point here, and there's another one here. All I did was remove the bolts, literally pulled it forward to the truck, made a new hole. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's about an inch or two more. The fender liner used to sit here, now it sits back here. So that gives me extra clearance, and it's actually rubbing on the bumper. So I'm gonna trim the bumper. I'm gonna start my cut high and bring it down low, just to keep that stock look. It doesn't look like a butchered bumper. So I already made my measurements, and I turned the wheel to check for clearance. So I'm just gonna cut here, check it again. If it needs to be cut more, I'll cut it more. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this right now.
That was a horrible cut.
So now we're just gonna check if it clears. And it clears. All right, back to the right, back to the center. Very good. All right, so it clears, but it's actually super close on the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim just a little bit off of the bottom, and we should be good for the front and move on to the rear of the fender. So this is the rear side of the front fender, the back side. If you can see, or I don't know if you can see, but it's actually hitting the bottom of this fender flare here. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop that out and see if it clears. Alright guys, so I don't know if you can tell, but I cut the bumper just a little bit. You can see the point here, but from a quick glance, it's not really noticeable. Alright guys, so this is the inside of the fender well. It's the best I could get right now, but I had to cut this inside of the fender flare just a little bit, notch it. There's a body tab over here. I smashed that in, so I notched it, and then I pounded it in, so it's flat with the body now. I cut the inside of the step here, the trimming, as well as cut open the body mount here. Just took a little bit of metal off of it, so now it clears. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a plate, measure it out over here, and then weld this in place. That's way it's strong again. Nothing too bad. So that's what it takes to clear. This took me about an hour to do. The hardest part is actually taking the wheel and tire off, and then you know, just double checking everything. So these things are heavy. That's right, I think they're like 50 pounds or more. These things are pretty heavy, but yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side and call it a day.